Have you ever received a text message from someone you love that says, love you, period? You know, it's a different text to say love you, period, than I love you, period. I hope you get what I mean by that. That's sort of what we're seeing here in this conversation with Jesus and Peter on the shore of the Sea of Galilee in John 21. We're heading into our last week in the Gospel of John here. I can't wait to hear what this reading plan has been like for you. I want to point out one thing in this text on these last couple verses here. It's an intimate conversation between Jesus and Peter. Remember, Peter had denied Jesus 3 times, not once, not twice, but 3 times. And here in this text, Jesus asks Peter 3 times what looks like the same question. Do you love me? Well, if you love me, feed my sheep. Do you love me? Well, then take care of my sheep. Do you love me? Well, then feed my sheep. It seems like 3 times is this parallel back to the 3 denials, each one being a restoration, a reconciliation, a healing moment for Peter, lifting up his head. But when you look at the words Jesus uses for love, they're different. First time when Jesus says, Peter, do you love me more than these? He says, yes, Lord, you know that I love you. And the word Jesus uses for love is the Greek word agape, which is that all-out, self-giving, selfless love that God has for us. Do you love me? And Peter replies with the word in Greek for love that means friendship. It's why some translators say, Lord, you know I'm your friend. And we don't get it in our NIV journal here. But Jesus is saying, Peter, do you love me more than these? And Peter says, yes, Lord, you know I'm your friend. Of course I love you. There's the difference between that text message, I love you, period, versus love you, period. And Jesus is going deep with a weightier word. Peter replies like, yep, love you. Same thing the second time around, Jesus asks, do you agape me? Again, Peter replies, of course you know I'm your friend. And then this third time, Jesus uses the word Peter's been using all along. Jesus says, Simon Peter, okay, are you my friend? It's almost like Jesus reads Peter there and says, okay, you're not going to send I love you, period, but love you, I hear that. I can meet you there. I can work with that. So they connect because Jesus meets Simon Peter right where he is. And this is so core to who Jesus has been this whole time we've been reading. Jesus shows up with Nicodemus and uses language Nicodemus would understand. He uses language with Pilate that Pilate would understand about truth and power. Jesus is constantly showing up to those in pain and those in power by meeting them where they are. And he does the same thing with us. When we are honest with Jesus, he meets us where we are. So as we head into the final week of John's reading plan, what I want to ask is, will you be honest with God today? Where are you? What are you mad about? What are you excited about? It's the start of the week. What's weighing heavy on your heart? God wants to meet you right where you are, but you got to know where you are for that to happen. Get honest today about where you are. Invite God to move. When Jesus and Peter reconcile after these 3 times and they use that same word, Jesus then forecasts the plan he has for Peter's life. Peter has a great purpose. It involves suffering. It involves leadership. It's powerful. And we believe that when we connect and are honest with God, there is nothing he can't do in and through us as well. Blessings on your week, friends. We can't wait to wrap this up.